welcome back to Vanircreations tutorials. This week we're going to be learning how to make this cutout macrame wall hanging with crystals added to the cutout part and beads and also a choice of crystal. If you're going to purchase the kit, I'll link it down below. You will have a choice of the colour and also the crystal that you want to use for this tutorial. We're going to be able to do it in this size, or you can choose how to do it in this size. As you can see here, we've chosen the black string and an amethyst crystal. In the other one we've used a clear quartz. So other than that, let's get into the tutorial. To wrap the larger size moon, cutout moon shape, you just do the exact same thing. So you'll use 10 meters of string every time you wrap, and you just do the exact same thing as you're going to do in the next video that I'm going to show you, but you've just got more space and you'll have more string in your kit as well. So firstly, I've cut 10 meters of my natural string. I'm just going to tie it round one side of the moon, but I'm going to leave like quite a bit of length to wrap around there afterwards, so probably about, I'd say 7 centimeters I've probably left there, just so then afterwards I can wrap it around here when we use the glue gun. Then I'm going to grab my ball of natural string, and I'm just going to wrap around the moon like this. And then what you might have to keep doing is pushing it on the inner side. Push the string up as you're making it, not this side, the inner side, just push it up, and that will make the string move around with the moon, rather than if you keep going straight, it's not going to move with the moon. So just keep pushing the inner side, very slightly, not too much, just to get that pattern. And then can you see I'm coming to this bit now? So I'm going to probably wrap it a couple more times, just so it's definitely coming onto this cutout part. So when you get to about here, you're now just going to start wrapping along this one. So this is where it gets a bit tricky because you have to keep going through the cutout now. But just take your time with it. So now we're not going all the way around, we come through the cutout here. And we're just wrapping that way now. Same technique, just wrap, 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 and then push on the inside if you need to. Push it up on the inside if you need to. So like when you've done this, push the inner side up slightly. As you can see, it gets a bit tangled and messy, but it doesn't matter. It's quite a thick string, so it's quite easy to untangle. So now you're coming to the end of this part and you're running out of string, so put your glue gun on. I've just started mine heating up, and what you want to do is keep wrapping, but make sure that the end of your string stops on the inside of your cutout. You don't want it to stop on this side or on this side or on the back. You want it to stop on the inside of it because it just keeps it a bit neater. So what I do is I cut it so that I'll just have enough string to stick down on that inner side. So I'm going to glue that down now. So now I'm going to glue. So you just put a bit of glue on the inner side here. And then glue down those ends. You can kind of use the nose of your glue gun to stick it down. Don't need a lot of glue. There you go, it's stuck down. Now I've cut 5 meters of natural into a ball here, and now I'm going to stick this on as well. So I'm going to stick it on the inside as well, where I've just left that last piece of string where I've stuck this bit of string down. And I'm just going to use a bit of glue gun to stick the next bit down. And then we're going to start wrapping again. Just let it dry before you start wrapping. And then again, carry on wrapping just as you were before. And then when you get to this part here, you've got a little bit left. We're going to wrap around all of the moon shape now. So when you come to the end, this end of the moon, cut about 10 centimetres, and then we're going to wrap and glue these ends on. So get your glue gun, do a line of glue at the tip, and then just keep wrapping that string around it. And then just leave that to cool down there. Then we're going to do the other side. Unravel where you've tied it on. And then glue that side on as well. If by any chance you've not left enough string to wrap around, you can always just cut an extra bit of string and stick that on. I've had to do that before and it works perfectly fine. And then glue that down. And then when that's cooled down, just cut these ends off. And then glue any bits that are sticking up down. And use the nose of your glue gun to press them down. I'll do the same on the other side. Probably should put my phone on silent. And then glue these ends down. And there you go. Now we're going to start this section. Next I've got another 10 meters of string, and then I'm just going to wrap it into a ball. So now I'm going to glue this end on the inner side of this cutout part. So if you put a bit of glue there, and then pop your string on that glue so it sticks down. Sometimes I use my scissors like this to stick that down. And then we're going to start wrapping that inner part. You can see a few bits that are sticking up there. You can either glue them down or you can wrap them down. So I've cut another 10 meters here. I'm going to start wrapping this next bit. So as you can see, I've just wrapped around them bits that were sticking up. There was no need for any more glue. I like to use the least amount of glue as possible, because then it can start to look messy if you use too much glue. And then just keep wrapping that all the way to the other side and pushing the inner bit up. So when you've gone all the way along and you're coming to the end, push that bit up and then wrap your piece of string, and then make sure it ends on the inner part. So you're going to cut get your glue gun, stick a little bit of glue there. I'm going to use my scissors to press it onto the glue. And then I think I need to put a little bit more glue. I'm going to use my scissors again. Because it's a glue gun, if you do get any glue on your scissors, it should just easily peel off, so I wouldn't worry too much. Like any glue will just peel off them. then if you've got any bits that are still showing wood, you can just push them along. And there you have your base shape completed. If you're using the bigger shape, to do your web, you'll need a 5 cm gauge. So use, and you're just doing the exact same way as I'm going to show you in the video, but your gauge, the distance that you're going to wrap and weave your moon shape is going to be 5 cm. So you just do it the exact same way as I'm going to show you in the next part of the video, but your gauge is going to be 5 cm. Now we're going to do the web inside the moon shape. So get your thread and tie it onto the end of your moon. And I've just tied that in an overhand knot about 5 times, and then I'm just going to cut that end off. And then I've got this little piece of paper or cardboard or whatever you need to use, and it's 3.5 cm. I'm going to use that as my measuring gauge. Then I put it along the moon here, and then that tells me where I need to wrap the thread round. So to wrap the thread, you go round the back, and then this loop here that's been created, that goes through it. Your thread goes through it. Measure again with your little cardboard or paper gauge, find the point where you need to go round, and then through that loop. Whoop. And then when you come to this bit, measure again, but you just go around this bit and then through the cutout. Like that. So you're just looping around this bit, not round everything, just around this bit. And then keep going till you get to the other side.
Let's go!
And then when you come right to the end here, to tie it off, go around and then through the loop to tie it off, and then do it again. Round and through that loop. And then we're going to go backwards. So how we do that is we go through this bit. I'm going to cut off about 1 metre of thread to make it easier. So I've just cut off about 1 metre of thread. It's still attached to the moon, and I've cut about 1 metre off, just to make it easy to thread through. So how we do that is we lift it up like this, and then we put the thread through it. Then lift the next one up, and then put the end of your thread through it. And pull. You can use a needle if it makes it easier for you, but this should be easy enough just to do it like this, and then just keep pulling through each segment. You can keep it on the spool if you can, but if it's a bit too tight, you can do it the way that I'm doing it, where you cut it off the spool and you just thread it through. And then when you get to this side, you're going to tie it onto the end here. So if you go round, through and pull, round and through the loop and pull. So you're literally just tying a knot at the end. I'm probably going to do it about 4 times because I'm going to cut this off. And now I'm going to thread my beads onto this thread. So now you've got your beads on, this is how I put them on. 2 small, 1 large, 2 small, 1 large, and so on. So you've got 5 big beads and 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 small beads. So what we're going to do is the end of your thread with your beads on is going to get tied onto the end here. Just using an overhand knot again. I'll tie it about 4 times. Cut off that end bit. And then we're going to lift up these segments here. And the thread goes through it. And then just pass that bead through. And then you do the next segment. And the thread goes through it. And then just keep doing it every segment. Don't worry about where the beads are because you can move them along afterwards. So you're just going through every segment here. And then tie at the end. Now you're not going to cut that off, just leave it. And then just start threading your beads through like this. And then when you've spaced your beads out, you grab your thread again and then you're going to pull out the next segments, which will have beads on now. And pop your thread through. Pull out the next one. And then you're going to tie the end here. And then we're going to go back one more time. And then we're going to tie off 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you're going to cut that end off. And that is your web done. When we've finished our web, we're now going to add the crystals. So I've got the clear quartz points here, and I'm just going to play around and do a few different shapes until I'm happy with how I want to place them. You can literally place your crystals however you want. They're really easy to stick on, you just need a glue gun, and they'll stick on pretty much anywhere you want, just don't use too much glue. But I'm just going to play around with mine to see how I want to stick mine on. I think I'm happy with that layout, but you could do them any way you want. You could have them all on one side if you wanted, or you could have them all on the bottom, like however you want. Just play around with it before you start sticking them on. Make sure your glue gun is very hot before you start sticking down. And then I just put a little bit of glue like this on, and then hold it on to the cutout part of your moon. And then again, glue. And there you have your crystals. Now I'm going to get my 2 meters of gold 1mm thick wire and twist in the middle. So you put them both together and then you twist in the middle like that. Then I'm going to grab my clear quartz stone. You'll have a choice of stones to choose from, but it's the same technique for each one. And you just put it down the side. And then go round the tip and then twist again. It's the same technique for every stone, but I do have another video on how to do different stones, so I'll link that down below. And then go on the side, bring them together and twist again, all the way to the top of your stone. Turn around and do the same on the other side. Bring them to the centre. And then twist again. So you're twisting one piece from this side and one piece from the other, and then leave the other 2 out like that. Then wrap these around the bottom like this and just cut them off. And press them ends down with your scissors. Then all that's left to do is attach it to your moon shape. So you might, I think I actually want it a bit longer than that. So I'll let you know how long I'm going to have mine. So I've twisted up about 6.5 centimetres, and then I'm going to wrap it to the top of my moon. So one piece behind and one piece in front, and then I'm going to go round the back and twist at the back. I do have another video showing you how to do this, and I will link that down below. There you have your finished moon.